I have never been the type to want to do anything sexual like jacking off, oral, anal, etc. on film. So if you was ever to see a video of me doing anything like that, which is you will not, I had no idea I was being filmed. I don't get what this infatuation is with everybody wanting to have sex on camera. People take the enjoyment out of everything, including sex. I mean, to each his own, but people need to understand that everybody is not down with having sex on camera. All so you can make a quick buck or try to use it against me later. The most I would do is be naked, but even then, you can't see my front area. I have no problem with nudity and definitely love my body. Anybody that has a problem with that, they can go kick rocks because it's not like I'm outside like some of these pervs. I did have some videos of me in the buff, naked, chilling in my own home, getting dressed for whatever I was about to do. That I did upload to my close friends on Instagram. They might get shared by a tourist, whether he does it or he sends the videos to someone else to do it on some revenge type porn type shit. But I'm not ashamed, nor do I care. I just like to get ahead of things before anyone else can try me. He has his own Discord that he can upload them to. Either way, good luck with that. Like I said, I love my body that he wants. I have never did porn and I have never escorted. I always felt like I was too naive and would be taken advantage of if I did porn or escorted. You will not see me on tape getting gang banged. This was, is never that type of party. I'd rather tell you all this than to let some washed up wannabe player or tranny get the best of me because they are broke thinking that they are about to blackmail me. No, sir. Anyone that is not a hater and will tell the truth, that knows me, they know I am brutally honest. My plan is to reveal every and anything that Satan can try to use to bring me down. I always tell people, ask me about me, because I will tell you the truth about me. I hide nothing. I'm an open book. I have always been that way from the start, honest. Why? Because at one time, all I have is my word, and my word is important to me. Anyway, years later, I asked Lamia who helped him and told him to say all of what he said to me, and he said Kiki was telling him what to say. I will not lie, this is what made me stop talking to Kiki the first time. Kiki probably thought it was because I was trying to change my life and didn't want to be around no more because of how Kiki lives. But I would never do that. I told Kiki recently what all went down and I did apologize. When I moved to Minneapolis, it was out of sight, out of mind for me because my main focus was getting on my feet. I did talk to Kiki about what Lamia said, and when I heard it the first time, a long time ago, back in 2015, I didn't know what to do with what I heard, so I just let it go. Also, with me being 10 hours away, I kind of just took the path of, I'm just going to move on with my life. After Queen passed and Lamia started all this drama in the family, that's when I brought it up because I wanted to see if Lamia was lying about that too. Kiki denied it. After all the drama and Lamia revealing his true colors, I truly do believe Kiki. I never seen how messy and manipulative Kiki, my cousin Lamia, could be, but now no one surprises me. He presents himself as quiet and shy, but really he is a messy individual. When his mom, Queen, passed away, he was the first person I called, and he didn't even answer the phone. Later on, this boy tried to blame me and said I was the last one he called when his mom died. Didn't ask me right away. He always wants to see me as this bad person, but never wants to look at his own reflection in the mirror. Most people that I encounter are like this. Like I said, it's easier for people to just blame me rather than owning their own shit. When he finally came to the house, he never really showed any emotion. You would have thought Timberly and I just lost our mom compared to how nonchalant he was. I understand that I can't tell nobody how to grieve, and let me make it very clear. I did not say anything about him showing no emotion. Never brought it up. Keep in mind, you are reading my private thoughts and what I was thinking during the process. So please, I don't need to hear about how I shouldn't tell people how to grieve because, first of all, no one gave a fuck about how I felt. Second of all, I don't and I didn't tell anyone how to grieve. But baby, this is your mama, and you see her laying deceased on the floor. He was her only son, and this was unexpected. No emotion. You can say what you want, but baby, that was one of the first times I had really seen Romans 10 and 31, King James Version, without natural affection. It was so bad that even others in the family kept telling him it's okay to grieve, because some of us thought, well, maybe he's just trying to be strong for us. Death really sucks ass, although I'm glad Queen is not suffering down here anymore. I told myself after her death and the whole funeral process I would never go to another funeral or deal with death again. That night was just a mess. I had another cousin that almost went to jail because he damn near lost his mind when he came to the house. The Queen's death was unexpected, so I understand. She was a favorite auntie, period, and she had a heart of gold. I definitely was beside myself. I even went off on the police because they showed up and pretty much made the situation worse. The police arrived a little bit before my mom did. My mom was at home and it was late. She was asleep. It's a 20-minute drive to Toledo from where she is at, and I remember seeing her come up to the house. She even said that night she even said that she thought she was dreaming. She really was in disbelief and seemed disoriented. The police was trying to act like the situation was a crime scene, like Queen was murdered, even though there was no trace of such. They were able to enter the home to investigate. Queen didn't have weapons. No weapons were in her home. There was no signs of anything done to her body. We told them that she had asthma. Her medications were on the table, and her breathing treatment machine was still on in her bedroom. When my mom arrived, I figured she wanted to go into the house to see Queen, so I asked, could her sister see her? The police were rude, saying no one could enter the home until the coroner, who was our family anyway, thank you, Mr. Campbell, came. They were being assholes, which is why I cannot stand the Toledo Police Department. The police stood in front of Queen's front entrance door, blocking the family from being able to get in. Like I said, they knew this was no crime scene, and a few of my family that was out there are RNs and LPNs. I come from a big medical family as well, full of RNs, LPNs, and CNAs. After I read the fuck out of the police department, they did let my mom's wife, a registered nurse, and my cousin, an LPN, go into the home to get whatever was needed, such as life insurance papers. It was a female officer that I will never forget. That ugly mutt bitch had the nerve to say to me, you want this to get ugly? I told that hoe, bitch, you're already as ugly as it can get. Without that badge slash gun, you have no power. You know you are no match for me, hoe bag. Before I was pulled away by my mom's wife, she was called every kind of bitch I could think of. Now, it didn't help that I had my dad there that night giving, well, death is a part of life. We all have to go, and all these other quotes Christians say. Don't get me wrong, what he is saying is true, but it was not needed at that very moment. I just found her on the ground deceased. It seemed he was just trying to rub salt in the wound. It's like, yeah, he was sad that Queen was gone, but he sees that it hurts me, so he was trying to be harsh to hurt me even more. He tried to say something to me about me going off on the police because he is scary and all talk. My dad is nothing like my granddad. My dad is the type to not go against the grain. I told him my generation is fearless, like granddad's generation. That's the difference between his generation and mine. We are not afraid to stand for what we believe in. We will not just march around. It's time to fight back. It's, I always say that the men in, in my family from my grandfather's generation were the strong black men. But I don't know what happened after my granddad. I do apologize for my actions. I do not apologize for my actions. It's straight up fuck that bitch. I said what I said and I mean that. She had no empathy for my family, and I will never forget the energy I felt from her that night. She gave very much so. I'm a woman and I want to show my authority over men. If anything, she should have been the most empathetic, compassionate because she is a woman and it was a woman laying deceased on the ground. They would not even allow her son back in. It just felt like they were there to make the situation worse. and they were antagonizing us. I do feel bad for her son and the way this all happened because now he will be forced to grow up. I always wanted him to grow up and be more independent like me, but I did not want it to happen like this. I also hope to see him get away from his weirdo friends. He has had some real friends that I actually like, but he gravitates more towards the weird deranged white folk. He doesn't mind being the token. He had a few of these weirdos with him that night, and one of my cousins said that they heard one of his white friends tell him, "You need to calm your family down." Baby, God was really there that night because if I would have heard that, I would be in jail. So we go to plan a funeral. All while we plan the funeral, he is on Grinder, not even paying attention. This is why I said my mom, Timberly, and I planned Queen's funeral. We wrote the obituary and whole while he writing different white men on Grinder trying to gain sympathy. I was looking on his phone. He was sitting right next to me and I seen the messages. Whole time I'm thinking, damn G, your mom just passed and we here to plan her funeral and all you can think about is hooking up? Still never said anything to him about this. It was so bad even the funeral director asked can he put his phone away. My mom was so heated at the funeral he was sitting next to me on Grinder. This boy did not shed too many tears, if any at all, but he definitely showed no real emotion for his mom. During the whole process, from planning the funeral to even after the funeral, Lamian was all on Facebook trying to gain sympathy, trying to start a show on Facebook, singing, dancing, and talking to a life size doll, his co host. I could literally tell he was trying to use Queen's death as some sort of opportunity, but it backfired in his face. He doesn't really even post on Facebook today because his no talent show did not take off like he thought it would. I was boiling, but still never said nothing because I already know if I say something then I become the bad guy. But what a way to show disrespect to your mother, oh species looking chest breast having dragon. Yes, I said chest breast because now you can't tell him nothing since he got his chest breast activated. He had top surgery in Michigan to get these ugly breast implants that cost him around 5 grand. This is what he did with the insurance money. He was going to spend it all on getting his corrective surgery done, but there was just two problems at the time: no apartment, no car. His priorities were so messed up that all he could think about was getting breast implants and gender reassignment surgery, but didn't even have a place to stay. I say chest press because it looks like he still has a boy chest, but his boobs start above his stomach. So he has chest and then breast, chest breast. I tried to tell him to go to Miami and get them done for 3 grand, and they will look better because the doctors are used to working with black people. Anyone black that knows about plastic surgery knows that we can't just go anywhere. Hell, I can't stop him, but at least I won't let him get taken advantage of, was my intent. But nope. He went and got an ugly boob job, and now all of a sudden, men trying to rape him. He calling my mama, me, and other cousins at 3, 4 in the morning, talking about somebody tried to rape him. One minute you was getting gas at 3 a.m., but the next minute you blacked out drunk. But if you blacked out drunk, how did you drive, get gas, notice you were about to get raped, so you ran to your car and you drove home? Okay, got it. That type of stuff. Now all of a sudden he into it with the other trainee girls because they're all jealous of him. Then he came with this lie about how he wanted to surprise us and let us know he got gender reassignment surgery. Now every time you talk to him, he done beat up a different girl and he doing all this fighting with real girls, with real girls that were born as girls as at birth in the mall. Now the boy going to the agenda sports bar and grill and was climbing all on the post, pouring water on himself, talking about he hot. Thank God when Cynthia's daughter was there that day and called Timberly because the man in the bar was about to jump on him. Then lied, talking about he made $700 at the agenda. I'm telling you, by the end, it was becoming unbearable with all the lies. It was like the family was on the Lame On show, starring a delusional dragon. What is he going to say or do next? He was finally getting the attention he had always wanted. Just one problem: it was the wrong time. He made Queen's death all about him and used the fact that he was on hormones as a valid reason that he could go off on everyone. He's a total lame ass nutcase. This is why I refuse to call him she or her, because he still has a penis and he still acts like a man, just with a bigger ego. Like I said, I have no problem respecting people's pronouns, but this hoe is a no from me, dude. Last reason is because he, like most in the trans Last reason is because he, like most in the trans community, wants so bad for his pronouns to be respected, but it's okay for him to turn around and misgender, as they call it, his own cousin Kiki. This is a big issue in the trans community, and they get upset when this issue is brought up. When most of them get mad at each other, they will call each other all out of their pronouns, amongst other things. Baby, that's when you will even hear them call each other by their male names and hoe. They won't respect, but a lot of them don't respect each other, and they don't give respect in return. On the other hand, this is really bad when a masculine gay man says he doesn't want to be called girl, sis. All of a sudden, you get all this attitude and beehive behavior with groups of people ganging up on a masked gay guy. This community is plagued by toxic femininity and hypersexuality. Certain groups within the LGBTQIA community want respect but don't give it in return, not even to themselves. What is an example of hypersexuality? People are typically characterized as hypersexual when their desire for sexual interactions interferes with everyday life. For example, people who engage in risky sexual behavior, like going to the malls, cruising, you know, engaging, in pornography, paying for sex, having sex in public to the point where even kids can come across or see. Like I say, engaging in pornography excessively to satiate sexual desires um, are sometimes characterized as hypersexual. Now, is it like this in the straight community? Yes, but I am not talking about them in this section. Plus, there are no bathhouses in the straight community. What is a bathhouse? A house of death for gay men is what I believe they are, in my opinion. Records of men meeting for sex with other men in bathhouses date back to the 15th century. A tradition of public bath dates back to the 6th century BCE, and there are many ancient records of homosexual activity in Greece. In the West, gay men have been using bathhouses for sex since at least the late 19th and early 20th centuries, a time when homosexual acts were illegal in most Western countries, and men who were caught engaging in homosexual acts were often arrested and publicly humiliated. Men began frequenting cruising areas such as bathhouses, public parks, alleys, trains, and bus stations, adult theaters, public lavatories, cottages or tea rooms, and gym changing rooms where they could meet other men for sex. I just want to post the scripture. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9, King James Version. You see people having sex in at bathhouses, public parks, alleys, train, bus stations, adult theaters, public lavatories, gym changing rooms. It's still going on, if not even more today. Just look at fans only. Some bathhouse owners try to prevent sex among patrons, while others, mindful of profits or prepared to risk prosecution, overlook discreet homosexual activity. A gay bathhouse, also known as a gay sauna or gay steam bath, uncommonly known as a gay spa, is a public bath targeted towards gay and bisexual men. In gay slang, a bathhouse may be called just the baths, the sauna, or the tubs. Historically, they have been used for sexual activity. Bathhouses offering similar services for women are rare. but some men bathhouses occasionally have a lesbian or women only night. Some, such as Hawks PDS, offer so-called bisexual nights where anyone is welcome regardless of gender. Bathhouses vary considerably in size and amenities, from small establishments with 10 or 20 rooms and a handful of lockers to multi-story saunas with a variety of room styles or sizes and several steam baths, hot tubs, and sometimes swimming pools. Most have a steam room or wet sauna, dry sauna, showers, lockers, and small private rooms. In many countries, bathhouses are membership only for legal reasons, though membership is generally open to any adult who seeks it, usually after paying a small fee. Unlike brothels, customers pay only for the use. Um, they only pay for the use of the facilities. Sexual activity, if it occurs, is not provided by staff of the establishment, but it is between the customers with no money exchanged, or so they say. Many gay bathhouses, for legal reasons, explicitly and or discourage prostitution and ban known prostitutes. These are the rules. Silence is golden. Easy and quick sexual encounters are the name of the game, and no one wants to have their fun spoiled with intimacy disclaimers or any kind of recognition beyond basic physical need. Okay, so this is one of the ways HIV/AIDS is spread. This is why there's no disclaimers about HIV, AIDS, or herpes. Ask yourself, why is this not geared towards straight people? These bathhouses have always been a trap to me, and this is why I've never even been to one. So I cannot help but notice that this community is way more driven sexually than other communities. I'm not judging anyone who chooses to participate in this type of activity, but I have never dated nor would I date anyone who was into this type of behavior. Sucking 10 penises in one night at a bathhouse is nothing to brag about. At the end of the day, I never understand why people, gay or straight, have to degrade themselves for clout. The other rule: nonverbal negotiation. A look generally indicates interest, but often a guy will touch you to see if you're interested. If you're not into the guy who's approaching you, don't look at them or push away their hand. Usually they'll back off. Come inside. If you pass by a room and the door is open, that means you're invited to at least solicit a proposal for sex by standing in the doorway and waiting to see if you get an invitation. If the question is drugs, the answer is yes. Poppers, a nitrate inhalant that acts upon the body like alcohol intoxication, except it hits you in seconds, are used by a lot of guys to increase their pleasure and reduce lack of control. You don't have to use them, but feel free to take a snort if offered. I believe houses are used like how people I believe bathhouses are used like how people use trap houses to sell illegal drugs. Nothing good comes from it, but I digress. Side note. Um, okay, so when it's talking about poppers, just want to say I cannot stand poppers. I can't stand it. It smells like paint thinner, and so I can't even take the smell. So I don't even be seeing how people be doing just smelling that stuff because it stinks. So yeah, never got into poppers. Lamien is a clear definition of a toxic femme, and that is why I'm sharing this. Lamien ended up becoming a major problem to the family because of his attitude, biting the hand that fed him, basically, Kiki and I. He thought that since Queen died, we would put up with his shit, but he quickly found out the hard way. Now, at one point, he was living with Kiki rent free. Kiki really did a lot for him because after I left, they got closer. See, Kiki never really had to deal with Lamien like I did. It was always Kiki and me going out to Detroit and Columbus, getting hotel rooms to come back to after we would go out. Kiki took my car one night while we were in Columbus, Ohio without my permission. I woke up and her ass was gone. I'm glad she didn't get us caught up. I don't know why she just didn't ask me to take her wherever, But after that, I slowed down on taking trips with Kiki, no shade. Well, anyway, after Lamien got his chest breast, he started to talk really bad about Kiki. I have some of the conversations of how he was misgendering Kiki on record. He again tried to get Kiki and I into it by sending me some text messages that were about nothing. He tried to make it seem as if Kiki was talking about me, but all he did was prove how messy he is. He gets mad and tries to get other people to fight his battles, another toxic film trait, which is his prerogative, but don't be out here starting stuff, and that's exactly what he was doing. I put this all on Facebook after Lamy and I got into it over him jumping up in our 82-year-old granny face like he was about to hit her. This was the second time he has done it too. Both times I have not been around or I will be in jail. I don't play about my granny. The first time he did it was because she would not call him by his girl name. The second time was recently over the same thing. I feel he is so disrespectful because my granny will call him by his name, Lamien. He will completely ignore her and act like she is not there. I understand everyone wants to be respected, but baby, it's a time and a place. Like I said, my granny is 82 years old at the beginning stages of dementia. She can't remember his new girl name. It's not like it's his anyway. He told me he got the name from another girl he's seen on TV. She is a part of the ballroom scene, in which Lamien does not even care about the ballroom scene because it's a gay black culture.